Welcome back to the Four Rings Inn for another
Woo!
episode of City of Shadow. We are back at it. Last episode, we had Renshore win his bout at the Crossed Bows, make a good bit of money from the legal betting and a little bit of illegal gambling as well. There was a lovely study session put on by Eleanor, making even myself jealous of. Still, the cheese and wine, the bread and wine, it's such a good idea. The reveal of the siphon that Eleanor found and the siphon that Renshore has was incredible. And then Eleanor's discovered siphon delivered with Oriana to Priest Chamet. And that is where we left the session off as our party prepares for their expedition beneath the city into the catacombs of the Spindle Maiden. So I'll ask all three of you, are you ready for a scary story? Bright autumn sun stands above Thalia as the three of you meet back up as midday approaches and begin your shopping spree throughout Thalia in preparation of the catacombs beneath. Where would you guys like to start your shopping?
I'm gonna leave it up to the nobles wherever they want to shop. They
Right.
probably have a favorite place that they'd like to go to or something.
Renshore, do you have a place in mind? I was thinking for myself that I would like something a bit antique, pretty, show-stopping, something that matches my general outfit, so that way it makes a bit more sense of why I'm carrying something like this on my person. So I was thinking of going to Stoneworth, but I know that is not the typical shopping experience.
No, I want to have something made, but I'll just while we're at Stoneworth, I'll grab something to have more immediately. But if we could also stop at a smith, I'd have
Of course.
a request to put in.
Yeah.
Oriana, are you shopping for anything today?
Nothing as fancy as what you guys are probably going to grab. I'm just going to grab... I already have my sword on me, so I'll probably just get like an extra dagger or something to have on hand.
Okay. Do we want to go to Stoneworth or the smith first?
Let's go to Stoneworth first. That way, if they have something I'm looking for, then we don't have to go to the smith.
Perfect. Lovely. You guys make your way. I imagine at the helm is Julius once again, as you travel through Thalia to get to Stoneworth's, the front of their shop. You'll pass through Avondale Hill and over to Thornley. And as you guys roll through Avondale Hill, you see the huge spires of Castle Greywall, the pouring waterfall of the Iron Falls, and can't help but feel that emptiness of the ground beneath you, knowing that just a few hours you will be deep below the cobblestone that your carriage rumbles over at this time. You make it through Avondale Hill and arrive at Stoneworth's Emporium. And you enter in, you see there's a beautiful collection of exotic goods and both trinkets and items and tools and all sorts of things that they have collected throughout the southern parts of Calidor, as well as beyond the Dromos Sea, over the Gallatin Mountains. And they collect these things and sell them to the nobles and the highborn of Dahlia. Uh, you see the shopkeep, all incredibly well dressed, come to you. And go, oh, Count Quillen, my
Hello.
Count Tyrvald. How can we assist you today?
You know, you always just have the nicest stuff in here.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
So beautiful. I was actually looking to get some sort of like sword rapier situation. Definitely something pretty and gorgeous, show-stopping. Something
Yes, of
that
course.
a little ornamental weaponry.
Yes, absolutely. Come right this way. We'll show you over. And they walk you over, and there's a wide variety of swords, like set into the wall, all on stands. And they begin to break them down and show you. They go, is this for display or for wear? Or use? Wear and use?
A bit of both.
Oh, okay. In that case, we won't go with any of the great swords then. A little weighty for your stature. Let's get you a something more fitting. And they take you over to some swords, and you see they show you a variety of like sabers, short swords, and like rapiers. The ones that I would say probably really stand out to you. There is one completely made of gold. Different hues of gold make up the handle that twists in these really like thin, elegant handle and hilt with beautiful carvings of like two horses that sit on the top of the hilt, the pommel. The hilt again embossed beautifully with all these like little carvings and intricate details, and the entire length of the blade has carvings and like words and symbols and like little twists and designs all throughout it. The second one they show you is more of like a white gold and a silver, and the blade is beautifully made. Two dual bladed are on both sides, but the real like enchanting feature of it is within the hilt. The decorative part of it is not in metal or in wood, but the handle is in stained glass, and it has these beautiful like stained glass twirls and twists, and like a beautiful, again, the handle is completely made out of stained glass, as well as like a dueling guard that goes like twists down in gold around the hands. But you see a wide variety of these swords.
Before Eleanor picks one,
Yeah.
can I just kind of like lean in, like kind of over her and look and kind of check the integrity of these swords? Because I know they're all very decorative and fancy, but I know we're taking these into battle, and I want to make sure that they're not going to just like snap on her the moment she takes it. I mean, I know Stoneworth's very trustworthy and has a great selection of things, but one of them was made of glass a little bit. I just want to check how sturdy are these blades.
Yeah,
I'm looking just at aesthetics as you're like correcting the work behind me.
I just want to like make sure that she's not getting one that's just pretty and it also is functional.
I would say give me a craft check as you're trying to assess the quality of the sword's craftsmanship.
A 10.
A 10. You look. What you can assess, it's hard to tell whether they're gonna like shatter or how sturdy the blades are or how sturdy everything is. What you can tell is that these swords, like, they are sharp. You can see that the blades have been sharpened. You also can tell by the way they're made, they were not meant to clash with steel, right? Like, so there, you know that your sword was built with the intent that it will be clashing with hard things. These were certainly not. They're like, again, a sword that has decorations all down the blade. Like, your sword will be chipped, and this sword is not meant to be chipped. But as far as you can tell, they're made with steel and of high quality.
Okay. Yeah, I'll point that out to Eleanor, like any ones that I'm like, this one's a little higher quality, or like trying to steer away, like maybe not this one.
Yeah.
Maybe look at these over here. Like maybe these will fit over the mantle a little bit better, and just kind of lend my eye in that sense.
Well, I think. So you think this one, the blade will be all right though, with the glass hilt?
Yeah, as if the blade isn't glass itself. If it's made of iron, it's a pretty good quality iron. If that's the one you like.
All right, then I would like this one, please.
Yes, this one is exquisite. They take it off. They go, would you like us to wrap it now? Or would you like it to give you a hilt for it?
If you have a fitting,
sheath.
that would be wonderful.
Yes, of course. Would you like a sheath that displays the blade, or just accents the hilt?
Let's show off the hilt.
I love it. And they get a full sheath, but it has like matching stained glass all the way down. So when you sheath it like completes the pattern. Yeah. And they gives it to you, and they do not give you a price. You are a quillin, an account. They mark it down. It will be billed to the house. You'll never see the exchange for it. Yep, absolutely cool. Taken care of.
I was wondering. Thank you so much. Can we also look at your dagger selection?
Yes, of course. And you see they display a wide variety of daggers. Their handles, again, everything from like very decorative to sets that have more plain handles but very like exquisite blades. Everything from like serrated blades to like ones that like squiggle. Every blade that you can think of, they have.
Oriana, do you see anything you like?
Well, everything here, it's beautiful, but I was just gonna go to the blacksmith to get one. How much do these run typically?
Oh, I want to get it.
Oh, Eleanor, I can't ask that of you.
You're not asking. I think it would be nice if we got a fun sword here. You might even find one that's a little extra useful.
Okay. And I think my eye is more towards the simpler ones that aren't like crazy decorative, just a little bit more on the plain side. But I mean, everything here is still like nice and beautiful. We're in a very high-end shop.
Yeah.
I guess I want to get maybe one of the serrated ones.
Yeah, absolutely. You give me one more craft check as you go through the
8.
8. Yeah. You go and look through it, and you see that there is a blade, a serrated blade, on the table that really fits your interest.
Yeah. All right. I get this one's nice. I'll like pick it up and hold it. The weight feels good.
Yes, that is a noble hunting knife from the Rember house, very far south. They do a lot of hunting in the mountains and for sport, for their hobby of their counts amongst them, and we were able to acquire it. Absolutely. You said, Lady Quillen, this will go on your tab?
Yes, as well.
Shall be done.
Eleanor, wasn't your father from House Rember, or did he just visit there?
He is. I think it's the other one.
Whatever you say, it's either.
I don't know.
It's either them.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to give you a lore moment.
No, it is a good lore moment if I remember.
It's one that definitely starts with an R.
Rember's the artsy one.
Is that?
It is.
Rember's the artsy house, and I was like, I'm pretty sure your dad's from the artsy house. Unless he
what's
just
the
went to
other
college
one right next to it?
We're pulling up the map of Calador. We haven't seen it
I
in
know,
a
I
while.
put up the wrong one.
Everybody crack open your maps. I'm doing the same
I just have a map of Thalia.
I know, I just have my Thalia map. I didn't mean to make this more difficult.
Maps are coming out. Everyone,
I think it's Rember.
All the shopkeepers are really bring out these huge maps and they're rolling them out.
Because Eleanor's like, I'm not quite sure. My papa is certainly from a house that is south.
Really narrowed it down.
Yes, it is. Ridgeson is the other one. I knew
yes.
that it had an R, and I knew that the capital is Avonia, and it was an A.
There you go.
Which is why I was like, yes.
Perfect.
House Wimber, that is so fitting that it has a little bit of here. We shall have to show it to him at some point.
Yeah, of course. And I'll be thinking of your family every time I use it. You paid for it.
That sounded like a
present your
threat.
father. No, it's from Eleanor.
The Grillins.
No, Eleanor bought it for me, and it's from the same house her dad was born and came from. It was supposed to be a sentimental thought.
She's gonna have your dad's face taped to the dartboard when she's practicing throwing it.
Thunk.
No,
Yeah, that's so.
I was trying to be nice.
Oh, sorry.
Oriana did not come off as being nice, I guess.
I thought it was nice.
While they're picking out a dagger for Oriana, another one of the Emporium employees comes over to you, Renshore. Lord Hivald, how can we assist you?
Yeah, so I'm standing over. I'm looking at the more plain, like rapiers. I just want something that's sturdy, steel. It doesn't need to be that ornate. This is just like a temporary piece. Maybe it's just got a couple gems in it or something.
Yes.
You got something like that in stock?
Yes, absolutely. And they show you. They have a couple pieces with, like really finely, like again simple, but they have wooden hilts with like steel coverings for like handguards, cross-hilted, made of like steel, some of gold. Very simple, but as they go through each one, they're like, oh yes, this was made across the Dromo Sea. This was forged within the Gallatin Mountains, and like there's a little story to try to hook you in for each of them. And so they're not super. They're far more beautiful than like finely crafted than the sword probably on Oriana's hilt. But they're like, these are all imported. They come from beyond the sea, over the mountain, from the capital itself. They're going through those.
Does the one from the Gallatin Mountains, does that one look sturdy?
Yes. Oh, most sturdy.
John, I want to do a craft roll here.
Oh, yeah. Give me a craft roll. Absolutely.
I put so many points into my craft, I never got to do it. 18.
Nice. I have 0 in my craft.
I have 5. I spent so many points on it.
Oh,
You should have been checking out Eleanor's daggers instead of me. Not her swords. Checking the integrity. Why am I looking at them over here?
You're the skilled
in craft.
weaponist.
You see that the one forged in the Gallatin Mountains is incredibly sturdy, but on an 18 with your craft, your eye spots another sword they did not show you. And the reason they did not show you is because the blade actually has like a chip in it, and the hilt there's what looks to be, it used to be a T hilt that was cracked off and then reforged into like with a hand guard. And when they see you eyeing it, they go, "Oh, yes, this one is not very fancy. It's more of an antique. It was recovered from one of the battles of the Seven Peaks, and it's more of a historical piece." And you can recognize as you look at it for how old it is with that craft, for how old it is and how much damage it has sustained. It is in incredible shape. When this sword was built, it was like, for it to be this good after hundreds and hundreds of years, like there's not a spot of rust on it. You recognize that this craftsmanship is the best of the bunch by far.
Man, I'd hate to go swinging around an antique, though.
That was your craft. You don't have to buy it. If you're looking for sturdiness, you know for a fact that this one blows the other ones out of the water.
Yeah, that's more for a collector. I think I'll take the one from the Gallatin Mountains.
Wise choice, Lord Tioval. And they.
Oh, and can I just pay for that here? I don't necessarily want it.
Yes,
Go to the
absolutely.
estate.
That will be an.
And sure, would you prefer to put it on my tab along?
No,
It's no trouble.
I have it right here. It's easier, less paperwork.
You see
You have it.
the shopkeeper.
on
They're
you.
looking between Eleanor and Renshaw, waiting for mostly Eleanor to give them the green light.
Eleanor, stop. How much is it?
If he has it on him.
It is an onyx and a jade. And they'll start to, as they go, would you like a sheath?
I was
that
really
goes
nervous. I
with
didn't have that on me.
it? Would you like
Say again?
Just put it right on my tab. I think.
No. I have
would
it.
like
I have it.
Everyone to send me again.
An onyx and a shade.
Yeah, I just had to do the math on what that is.
Yeah.
It's 1050.
Yeah.
I got that. And
10,
I'll
even cheaper.
If you
10,
have
10?
it on
Oh.
you, that means it's pocket change for me.
yeah, 1010.
10.
That's easy.
Yes, of course. Would you like it wrapped or would you like it sheathed?
If you have a fitting for it, that would
Yes,
be
of course, absolutely.
Okay.
And they fit it for you, and it is exchanged, and you are given your sword.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Is there anything else we can help with?
Sorry, did that come with? Was it just like a sheath and a frog, or was it also a belt?
It comes. Would you like a belt with it? We can certainly fit it. Nope.
No, I can just slide the frog on right here. I was curious.
Yep, just the frog. We're so sorry.
Wait,
That's what you wrote.
I have a belt as it is.
Yes.
Don't need more than one.
Yes, of course. It is an absolute pleasure. If you would like to make any orders, we will absolutely take an order for Count Stoneworth. Just be known with the war in the south, we'll have to delay. It takes a while for things to come in.
Naturally.
Just let the Count know that I have a newly acquired eye for something interesting and protective.
Yes, of course. We will let him know immediately. I'm sure that he would love to make your acquaintance. I guess that's not really what that means. He would love.
Yeah.
He'd love to help.
To work with me.
Yes, absolutely.
We've met
It's
him.
like make your acquaintance. I was like, he was at my ball.
He definitely
7 days
met him
ago.
a lot. Yeah. He loved to work.
Just something last week.
Of course. Have a wonderful day.
You as well.
November bless.
Novem bless. Next stop for the group. Where are we going to?
What
I
did
think
you
Oh.
What did you mean by protective?
I just know that we have been getting into trouble lately, so however Stoneworth wishes to read that. A shield, a better sword, perhaps something with a bit of magic in it, divine, of course, and I kind of hold my gaze on Oriana for a second. Of course. It just
Okay.
seems like anything could be helpful these days. And I
To
know
the-
he sources the rare and exotic.
That he does. To the smithy then?
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, and as I tell Julius where we're going, I was like, "Oh, Julius, I forgot to ask. Did you want anything as well
No,
from
lady.
Stoneworth?
No,
I
Lady
know that we've
Flynn. No,
been
absolutely.
getting you into trouble lately. I could run back in and get you a dagger or a sword or something."
I have no need. I'm a humble carriage driver. No. I could not.
I just hate putting you in danger.
No, that's what the carriage is for, and the horses. But if we could not go out of the castle walls at night, that would be excellent.
I was
Yeah,
just thinking that. I personally was flashbacking to when he came in and the Depraved were all chasing Eleanor.
Yeah,
Yeah, no more danger.
that would be fun.
I'm
I'd be
gonna
cool.
buy him a fancy sword to make up for it.
Buy him things. Yeah. Yes, of course. We could go to the There are plenty of smithies down at the Emerald Market, or if you want to stay local to Thornley, I know the Hook and Hilt is renowned across the city.
Renshaw?
The Hook and Hilt sounds fantastic.
To the Hook and Hilt. And it is a short
What's
carriage
the hook
ride
part?
to the Hook and Hilt. And you see there is a shop, a puff of smoke billowing out of one of the chimneys, and the large sign for the Hook and Hilt. You enter.
Is it
Yes.
is it just me getting something here?
I believe so. I mean, unless there's anything else we need.
I think so. I was gonna shop for a dagger here, but Eleanor already snagged me one at the other place, so yeah, I think it's just you.
Okay, well then I will make this quick.
You enter in. Is everybody going in or just Renshaw?
Oh, I follow Renshaw.
Yeah.
You enter in. You see there are a handful of people in here as well. Everybody greets the Count and Viscount as they come in, wishes you a good day, and may the Novem bless you. Before Maldor Hook, one of the owners of the shop, comes over and goes, Lady Quillen, Lord Tyrvald, how may we assist you today? It's a fine pleasure for the establishment to have you here. What can we do for you?
I am looking for two things.
Yes, of course.
First, I would like to put in a special request for a sword
Yes, for sure.
to be made.
You see, they comes over to a desk, gets a quill, and starts to take down notes as you describe what you would like.
So naturally, I know not of the craft, but I can merely describe what I'm looking for. If you have
Yes, of course.
questions or tweaks to recommend, please don't hesitate. But I am looking for a rapier with a engraving all along the flat of the blade.
Yes.
Something basic but encompassing.
Excellent. Okay.
I want a hilt that is at least gold colored. I'm not sure how that works in terms of stability, but something that flashes while maintaining usefulness.
Yes. Are you expecting to be taking blows from steel with this?
It's potentially possible. Yes.
Okay. Yes. We may do. We can do gold-plated steel, or we can do a steel with golden accents. I will give you some.
I will leave that up to your discretion. You are the master. Both sound fantastic. Whatever you think would work and look best.
Okay. Yes. As we flesh it out, we'll have an answer. What else?
Yes. So I want the crossguard to have like a leafy embroidery to it.
Yes.
And then also a dueling cage that has a similar embroidery to it all the way around as well.
Excellent. Yes. It made the leafy embroidery we can absolutely do. We have a shop down in Etherley. We will send it to for that. May add an afternoon to the completion time, but that is all. Yes. And anything else for this blade?
No, that's all I'm really looking for. If there's anything you feel would be needed to change.
No, I do not believe so. We can have it ready by, say, the 4th of Asha.
The 4th?
Yes.
Perfect.
Excellent. Excellent. We will negotiate a price once it is complete. We'll work out the materials and that, and then we will negotiate before anything. No.
Do you wish for a deposit or?
No. We will tomorrow morning. I will send you a design, and upon your approval, we can negotiate price.
Very well then.
It's beautiful, Wenshore. I can't wait to see it.
What was the
Yeah.
second item that you said?
Yes, I am looking for a crossbow that one might conceal within a carriage.
Carriage. Concealed how?
Just not something too large. Something that could maybe be hidden within like the driving area of a carriage.
I see.
Kept at the feet or alongside on the bench.
Yes, I see. Let me speak with my co-owner. To meet your requirements, I would like to have a crossbow that the bow portion collapses. That way, it is smaller, but extends upon the use. The engineering will be a little tricky, but between the two of us, we can come up with something. We may just need a little bit of time to come up with a design. But how soon do you need a crossbow?
I honestly was hoping to find something you had ready-made in stock. But
Yes. No.
that's-
If you're looking for something today, they turn and Maldor shows you. They have a couple hand crossbows that they've crafted, and so they're smaller, but they're like you could conceal them within like a cloak. Like they're small and compact, and they have some other light crossbows that you would know would be able to fit just like below the sides of the driver's compartment where Julia sits.
I will take one of the hand crossbows.
Yes.
But that collapsing idea could really go off. I mean,
Oh, okay. Yes.
you guys should work on that. No haste whatsoever, but that could be a real good ticket there.
Excellent. I had never thought of the idea, but yes, we'll work up a design, and then I will still send you the design to see if it meets the requirements you were thinking of, and then if so, again, no transaction, but we will work out. It'll be a fun side project.
Yeah, and if it's something that you guys are able to do, I mean, please let me know. I will stop in and check them out.
Yes, of course. The endorsement of a Viscount would be thrilling, wonderful, really. Yes, absolutely. And he kind of marks down some stuff on little side notes about this, and then they sell you the hand crossbow goes for 2 jades.
Wenshore, will you let me pay for this?
No.
You have a beautiful shop here, sir.
Thank you so much. We have been incredibly busy since the war has started.
I'm sure.
Yes, but
Thank you for arming our...
yes, certainly not us alone, but we are happy to help.
Of course.
Excellent. Anything else that we can assist you with?
Oh, and ammo for the...
Yes. And then it is a shade mark for every bolt that you want. I'll say they come in packs of 10. I'm not going to keep track of your ammo, but
It's Julius's ammo.
Yes. Okay. In that case, I will keep track of how many shots Julius.
It's actually your character,
yeah.
John.
Yeah. So I'll be keeping track of ammo. How much ammo do I have?
I don't know. Aubrey was about to say something.
Sorry. Buy your thing first.
I see. I will just buy a pack of 10.
Perfect. 10 shots.
And I will just drop a jade.
Perfect.
Counter.
Cool.
On the ground?
On the counter.
Oh, I thought you said ground.
Throws on the ground, he spits on over and walks away.
Pick that up.
I was going to do this later and just take from my guard's armory, but while we're here, because I love to support a small business, I would like to buy some more arrows for my crossbow that I am borrowing.
Yeah, absolutely. Same deal. Shade mark per arrow, or you can get them in packs of 10.
I'll get a pack of 10.
Perfect.
So that way I have 15.
Easy.
Sick.
Nice. Excellent. If nothing else in the Hook and Hilt, is there anywhere else you guys need to shop for?
As
Actually,
we leave the Hook and Hilt, I want to give Julius his new weapon.
Oh my goodness! I have never had a crossbow before. And you see he's kind of looking. What do I owe? What do I owe you for this? For this such a wonderful gift.
Your unceasing protection.
I have told Eleanor this before. I am, or Lady Quillen this before. I am on the payroll. Her family pays me. This is my job.
Yes,
I'm
your
sure
job
I've
is to.
told Julius many times that he can call me Eleanor.
Yeah.
Like, he's been driving me for so long that he has been instructed to call me by my given
There you
name.
go.
You have done a fantastic job being there for us through not so dangerous, not so safe.
As you're saying this,
So?
he fires a crossbow bolt by accident into the sign of Hook and Hilt. He's like, oh, okay.
oh,
He's quite.
maybe don't fire it unless there's active danger around.
Yeah, that's
Maybe don't load it unless there's active danger around.
Yeah,
You would
it's
not know how to-
emergencies only.
Okay. You see that he loads one more bolt into it and sits it down on the right next to him down there.
How much does Julius get paid per day? Like, did he just fire a day's wages at that sign accidentally? Like,
No, he probably gets paid like an even a day. I don't know
Oh,
how much. Yeah,
okay.
I would imagine like an even a day.
he gets paid a real wage.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, the Quillens definitely pay more than a fair wage.
Yeah.
I will later that, like, the night before we do our other stuff, just whenever I'm back home,
Yeah.
instruct one of the guards to take Julius out to, like, get some practice in
Yeah.
with his weapon.
Excellent. Yeah, for sure. Anything else you guys would like to do this afternoon on your shopping trip?
Yeah. I know it's kind of a ways away. It's all the way in Etherly, but do you think we can make a stopover at Morningside?
Of course, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
You guys make a not like super long, but a longer carriage ride to Morningside
All the way across the city.
across the city.
Yeah.
As you're moving through the packed streets, the sun beating down on people moving about, the three of you really can't help but feel like for the first time, especially in the last week, but the last time in probably the last like couple months, that things have felt normal. Things like everything is calm, people are calm, you're moving through, the sun is bright, and things are feel normal for a moment.
Thanks, John, for that.
Yeah. Before
I think Eleanor in the carriage is just like, did you guys hear that Bree Fairchild was seen unattended with and then like another like Viscount name or something like that. Like, I'm just going off and giving
Just
gossip.
doing gossip. Love it.
Yeah, you guys make it to Morningside. What would you like to do in Morningside?
I'm sorry,
I
what's
think
Morningside?
The hospital.
Morningside is the hospital.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think we should stock up on some healing elixirs
Yes.
in case we run into some trouble tonight.
Yeah, you guys can get healing elixirs. They have like these bottles of clear, blessed water that they give out, and they are 10 or 1 jade, 10 shade marks a piece. I will say that each of you can hold 2 before it is like either bulky in your pockets or you have to start strapping things to your outside. So if you're trying to look good, you're topping out at 2.
I'm always trying to look good.
There you go. Then you top out at 2.
So I will get 2 for myself.
Cool.
Eleanor and Renshaw?
Yes, I think we should all get 2. I'd rather be prepared, and then I will pay for them.
No, I wanted to pay for these ones. Let me pay for them.
There's no way that they do not defer to me and let me pay.
That is absolutely true.
I put my money on the counter anyway to give to this woman, and if she still wants to bill Quill and Keep, that's her prerogative, but then the hospital's getting my money regardless. Call it a donation then. But I'm attempting
How much was
to do
it?
this. I'm
A jade.
Each one was a jade?
Each one was a jade.
2 jades? I don't care.
Eleanor, give me a sleight of hand check really quick.
Why? What's she doing?
Did everyone get 2? 2 each? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I missed
think
how
so,
much
yeah.
everyone got. Okay.
Yes. 15.
15. If you would like, you can actually. Yeah, I'll say with. I'll say this. With a 15, you can grab a third. You have to pay for it, but you could take a third, and you could get it in your bag of holding for normally while going out and doing stuff, and it would not affect your person. And so on the 15, you do not actually grab anything, but you know how quick your hands are, and you're like, I could get it in a bag of holding. I could keep it.
I'll purchase a third. And actually, I will purchase 2 more.
Okay.
And leave 1, and I'll just carry it out.
Yeah.
And leave 1 with Julius and stash 1 more in a bag of holding.
Excellent. Perfect.
Keeping 1 in the carriage?
More supplies.
I
I put 60 marks on the counter. That's how much I'm putting in.
Lady Quillet, I cannot thank you enough. Again, I thank you. And you take.
I would like to try to put an onyx mark into Oriana's person.
You're gonna have to roll against me.
Contest a check.
What do I roll against to see this? Is it perception or?
Yeah, perception.
You just got an onyx mark on your person? I had to earn my onyx marks.
I'm rich.
18.
I got a 17.
Oh, you.
Oh, no way. No. You bought the dagger. You paid for lunch the other day. Let me pay for something. It's not even that much. It was only 60 marks.
I know, but I
know
Well,
you
it's
enjoy
not that
spending
much.
money and you have fun shopping, but it's not that much, and it makes me feel good to do it.
Oh, of course. I will later back at home put it in a letter and send it to the Tyrval Manor to be delivered.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, why are you sending it to me?
Perfect. Yeah. Is it?
But in person, I'll be like, of course, Oriana. It's always nice to be treated.
Is there anything you guys would like to do as the afternoon moves on to get ready for the hearth tonight?
I change, of course. I would never wear my day dress
No,
to the hearth.
absolutely not.
I think I also work with my ladies' maids to best secure the sword that I can easily draw it, but it also looks just very fashionable, and it's almost a little hidden by the skirts of my evening gown.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that way it's not quite out there. It very much looks like a fashion choice rather than a self-defense
Yeah,
choice.
absolutely. I love it. Yeah. Tyrvald and Lunaris, anything from you?
I'm still going to wear my guard's uniform.
Yep.
And if it's clean, if I put a clean one on this morning, then that's what I'm going to keep on.
Mm-hmm.
If it got dirty during the day, then I'll go home and change, but I'm still wearing my guard's uniform.
Cool.
As I will be publicly bodyguard for Renshaw at this event.
Excellent. Renshaw, anything from you? It doesn't have to be. I'm just.
No. What you're wearing? What's your outfit for the event?
What's the fit?
Check.
It's the same black suit he wears all the time.
There you go. Wait.
Not the purple jacket.
accents. It's I thought it was black with purple accents. Is it a purple jacket?
It's whatever you want.
Whatever you
I
want.
really have more than one.
Whatever you want.
Are we going straight from there to the Spindle Maiden?
I guess it depends on how late it runs. If it gets pretty late, then
It will
possibly.
probably run to like 11 p.m. No, like 10.
Are we sure about going at night?
I don't really know what difference it's gonna make. There's no light of day down there, regardless.
True. Then we should go right after, so that way there's no awkward returning home and leaving.
Very well. Then I am ready.
Perfect. The three of you, Eleanor in with both of your parents, and Renshaw with Oriana and your father, make your way to. Yeah, I know Kazdeth is not invited to this. I'm so sorry. You make your way. Adora is also not invited to the hearth. Sorry.
Sorry, Adora.
Make their carriages arrive to Brightfire Hearth. You enter in, and there is a large, reception area where hors d'oeuvres are being served, and a variety of counts, viscounts, their cousins, lords of law. Sorry, my room just got broken into. Lords of law, lords of coin, a wide variety of people are, as well as just highborns that are here for the play, for the Hearth event, are here all socializing. And you enter, you are greeted with the scene. You are announced as you come in as the Count Quillen family, Viscount Tyrval family, and
guest.
And they don't even announce Oriana. She's not a guest. She is here because she has to be. And the social begins. You see... actually, Eleanor, you would notice this, so I'm not even going to have you roll. You notice immediately Florian and Kier part ways and go talk to two different people on opposite sides of the room. As they say, they're networking and spreading Quillen influence across the room from opposite sides. They split up. Arthas goes and begins to make a slow round around the room, not really talking to anybody, but nods, greeting people, a slow walk around the room. And you have a wide variety of people to talk to before the show starts. Is there anybody in particular you guys would like to chat with, or do you want to stay in your group of three and enjoy your time?
I think I just want to roll perception real quick and see if my family is here by any chance, if my mom and sister came to the event.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a perception check.
13.
A 13. You see across the room, your mother and Elda are here. They are both dressed in a fine evening gowns. They particularly stand out as they're in a formal setting. Their Aasimar wings are extended, both of them. They're not taking up a huge bit of space, but they do have them out and on display. Their feathery wings, both similar in color, being lighter on top and kind of tapering down to a little bit darker feathers on the bottom. But both of their wings are out. Their eyes are glowing white as they're greeting people. And even on a 13 perception, you can tell that Eleanor is not happy being here. Not Eleanor, sorry. Elda is not a fan of the public events. She would much rather be at home reading, studying, doing her own thing. But she's putting on a good face for socializing and talking to people.
Yeah, that's just interesting. They haven't been out to a formal event in a long time. I haven't seen my mother out and about the house.
Yep, you see him there?
I'm still gonna stand guard by Renshaw.
Deal.
I stay on my father's hip.
Excellent. And so the three of you are making your rounds. So I'm getting my new music queued up.
I think I'm
Yes, you follow your dad.
like, when I come in, I spot them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a little bit of an insight check. I think Eleanor is still unsure in these formal events of her place amongst them, especially in this event where like Oriana is clearly being the guard and Rancher's with his father. And I think like since she arrived home from Scrollspire and they got together as a couple, she's felt a little unsure about being near them, like in these like more like formal events.
Absolutely.
And so I want to do an insight check to see like when I come in, like if it looks like they're like looking in my direction or kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like vibe check of like, should I go over there or should I just like I'm not really part of this Tirval function.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That is 25.
25. There obviously no words are spoken, but there is a clear indication as you look at the pairs and the group socializing that the counts and their families are sticking with each other, and the Viscounts and their families are sticking with each other. There's not a ton of intermingling unless they're either quick greetings or people are talking business. Aside from that, as far as being social, they are separate. And you know that if you went and hung out with your Viscount friends, there would be gossip. Nothing new for the Quillen family, as gossip of their closeness with the Viscounts is already there, but you would be leaning into that gossip.
I think you could probably also see that Oriana isn't making a lot of chat like with Renshaw. She's more like kind of standing behind him as he's like close with his father doing Viscount stuff and making Viscount talk. And so like I don't really think Oriana is making much conversation or just like we're not like hanging out being friends at this event. I think Oriana has like a pretty stoic face on. She's working and just trying to be presentable for the Tirval family.
And looking good.
And I think as I come in and I see like the families are all sticking together and my parents immediately both walk away, I just like stand there and smile, and I will like just start like social butterflying, like floating through like all of the counts, and then I might like talk to a Viscount or two.
Yeah.
But like I'm not sticking in one spot. I'm moving around to everyone.
100%. Give me a gossip check as you're doing that. And while you're rolling that, as you're making your way around the room with the Renshaw, your father's a little bit ahead of you and pulling up beside you on the opposite side of Oriana and speaking just low enough that your father can't hear as he's distracted by the other socialization going on. Denise Adair pulls up to you. Her hair.
I was hoping for something interesting.
Her hair back to her natural dark brown, braided all the way back, wearing again a gown fit for a hearth gala, strides up to your shoulder and goes, Good evening, Renshaw. How are you doing on this fine evening?
Well, it was a fine day until about 10 seconds ago.
Yes, well, I saw that you came all by yourself. Aw.
Clearly, your eyes are as good as your brain, as I walked in with a whole family.
Yes, I'm.
The
Yeah.
whole family cast just didn't even show up. He wasn't even invited.
It's just your dad.
Just you and your
But-
dad
And my ex-fiance.
and your ex-fiance gets go. Oh.
As staff.
All I'm saying is that an event like this, a +1 would have been more than acceptable.
Is that an invitation?
Most certainly not. I heard that you were attacked at the Temple of Ryan just a few days ago. I'm so glad that Lady Quillen wasn't hurt.
Yes, that was quite fortunate.
Yes, it was a
Shame you weren't there.
It was a shame. I so wish I could have seen your bodyguard save your life.
Indeed.
And she'll look over to Oriana and just give you a wink.
I'm just trying to keep a straight face.
Yeah.
Punch her. Punch her. Punch her.
You see that she kind of nods towards your father, who is having a conversation about the pristine meeting that happened a few days ago. And she whispers to you, "My father says that if your family had any sense, they would vote with the Caldwells. They're the ones that own the land and the farming land down south. If you were to get in with their good graces, maybe they'd grant you some land and get you out of the city."
Don't you have to go be stupid somewhere else, Denise?
Yes, I certainly have other places to be. And she goes to turn and then stops and goes, "Oh, I almost forgot, Renshaw. I've written you a letter in my free time." And she pulls out a piece of paper from her dress. And she goes, "It was the only way I knew how to express my deepest emotions." And then she hands you this piece of paper and then chuckles as she walks away.
Is this a completely blank piece of paper?
No, you see it's just folded in half. You open it, and there's just one sentence on the inside, and it says, "Roses are red, violets are blue, your brothers are dead, and I hate you." And that's it.
Jesus!
And she is gone in the crowd.
And
Yes!
Statement.
Fucking brutal!
Lack of originality.
No.
She goes, "I heard you wrote letters," and hands you one.
It gives you that one. Yeah. Do you want it again? I can send it to you if you want. Here, I'll send it to you.
No, I got it!
No, it's okay. I'll send
Forgot.
it to you. Here you go.
Oh,
Let me get that to you right away.
oh God, I want to punch that woman. Oriana, will you do me a favor?
Yes, Renshaw?
You are here to protect me, correct?
Yes.
And if I were to do something to put myself into danger, you would get rid of whatever source that would be.
I mean, yes.
Can you just go punch her for me?
That doesn't seem like you're in danger.
I'll jump off a bridge if you don't.
I think I'd rather follow you towards the bridge than punch Denise. No, Renshaw.
Yeah, okay.
Eleanor, what was your...
But she wrote.
I mean, that is pretty mean. I will say that it's very insulting. I'm sorry she wrote that to you. Do you want me to take that from you?
Oh, now you'll take a letter. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm emotional.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it's appropriate to attack Miss Adair here in the hearth, but maybe if we catch her outside.
Yes.
Beat her up
Brilliant.
in the parking
We'll
lot.
meet her in the parking lot.
And I'll leave it at that.
Excellent. Oh, that's lovely. Eleanor, how was your gossip check?
I got an Eleanor 2,
Oh, an
which
Eleanor
equals a 9.
Yeah, with a 9, you actually get, instead of hearing gossip, you get flagged down by your father, Kier, who kind of motions you over. And as you come closer, you hear he's
Yes,
mid conversation with Count Fairchild, and who hosting the event. And you hear your father go, "Come, friend, must we do the same tale every year?" To
Oh.
Eleanor, yes.
No!
Wouldn't you agree? The same tale every year. It's repetitive.
I am a woman who likes to see it as tradition.
Yeah, and you see Fairchild goes, listen to your daughter, Kier. It is a classic of Thalia. What would you suggest if we're doing something different? And you Kier thinks for a second and goes, what of the Mad Poets Banquet? Or Citrus Wedding? And you see Kier goes, Citrus Wedding? Kier, the old counts would be struck dead if they heard the humor of Citrus Wedding.
He is simply jesting. You know how it is down south. He is a man of the arts.
I must
Man of
and I like
yes.
take
Remember, yes.
I take Kira's arm and I just kind of like pull him a little closer, and like he knows that this means shut the fuck up.
You see, he just starts laughing, as well as Count Fairchild, and he goes, "It would be a sight to see having everyone here for Citrus Wedding." And you see, Kier goes, I meant to ask. I know that the Thalia Theater Trope is preparing for their winter season. Um, Eleanor is, of course, a splendid artist. I was thinking of ways to get her work out to the public. Do you think that the trope would have a use for her on set? Do you think we could get her to paint the sets and to paint for the tales? Um, yeah, and you see Florian kind of sits on it and thinks about it for a moment. Goes, oh, I never thought about that. Eleanor, would you be interested in doing such a thing?
Of course, if it would be helpful, that sounds like a wonderful opportunity.
Oh, yes. Let me see. I don't want to speak on behalf of the trope, but also I own the trope, so I certainly can. Let's see. If you would like, it is a steep task, but later next month, with near the end of Asha, is Lord Blacksbane Caspian's coronation ball. It is attended by all the nobles of Thalia, and the trope will be having a tale for the masquerade ball. If you would like to paint some of the or draw, I don't exactly know how they build their sets, but I'm sure that very public, very high stakes. But your father has only spoken highly of your work.
Why, thank you. I should be sure to write to you later, and we can talk
Yes,
details.
yes, of course. And you say, Kier, those older counts that I spoke of seem to be needing attention. I will be right back. Don't let me hold you up." And Count Fairchild moves off for a moment. And Kier kind of leans over to you and goes, "Any good gossip for the night?"
Not much. I mean, of course, you've heard about young Lady Fairchild already, I'm sure.
Yes, I heard that he was seen with one of the actresses. That it will be at the thing tonight.
Of course.
Yes,
Hmm.
she's a main role. Keep an eye out.
Well, at least it's a leading lady.
Yes, I would expect nothing less from Count Fairchild. Yes, have you seen your mother around lately?
Of course, right over there.
Excellent. And you see he kind of scoots to be again on the farthest end of the room as he's like, yes, and kind of moves away. Yeah. Anyone on Eleanor's list to hit? It doesn't have to be
on my list to hit.
I don't think so. Not anyone in particular.
Excellent.
If the Watlands do make an appearance.
Yes, as a matter of fact,
I am assuming.
You see only Count Watlin. Only Olav is here, and he is standing. He is standing with 2 bodyguards next to him. He is not socializing people. People will come up to him. He'll nod. He'll shake their hand. He'll have a brief conversation, but he's not holding any talks with people. But he's there.
Yeah, I'm not approaching that.
He never shows up.
Yeah.
Now he shows up and you're not going to talk to him?
You rarely see the dwarf himself.
It's Orlov Watland.
You should talk to him.
As you think you're right on the
You
cusp.
could.
Yeah.
I'm about to follow my father.
You see
Oriana has to follow me. You're free.
I don't know what I would say.
What's up, bro?
Hello, I am actually going to be joining you on your expedition into the woods. You don't want me there, and if I tell you too early, you might get Yanis in trouble. But the Nox?
the Nox.
So
If
your
you go
children,
over-
you've been eating them, right?
I will tell you this will change drastically if you just go over and whisper Nox to this incredibly paranoid man. Yeah, that will rapidly change the mood of this gala. 100%. Yeah.
Please do.
Sure. No.
I want to see John scramble for that situation.
I want to do like a what if episode after we do
Yeah.
this. What if we go back?
I will tell you that Count Watlin would order his guards to put hands on Eleanor immediately, and then it's a scene. Like at that point, like it is not good. Not good things happen for everybody. Yeah, it's bad.
I think I just continue to make my rounds, and my heart's not in it as much as it usually is.
Yeah, for sure.
And I do, I'm constantly looking over at Benshore and Oriana, when I can tell that they're not looking my way, though I have a feeling that they're not looking my way all.
Yeah.
I think I'm occasionally looking your way because I think I just kind of keep scanning the room. I'm checking the doors. I'm watching all the people. I'm very much making sure that Rencher's okay, but I'm also I'll peek over to make sure you're okay, you're still over there, and go back. Glances aren't long, but I am keeping your safety in mind if something were to happen.
Yeah.
You're really good at your job.
I'm trying to be.
You see.
I broke up an engagement for it. I gotta be good at it.
There you go.
At least it was worth something.
It's gotta be.
You see Count Fairchild, a halfling as he is, gets up on a platform to be above everybody else, and rings a bell and says, "Thank you all for attending the wonderful tale of lost nights. If you would see yourselves to your seats, the show will begin shortly." And people begin to move into the theater. As you guys go in, you are welcome to sit wherever you want. The counts as a whole are sitting a level above the where the Viscounts are sitting, who are again a level above the public audience. As Brightfire Hearth, one of the larger hearths in Thalia, has a ground set of seating that circles a central stage, and then up on the walls booths for nobles and highborns. Cool. So Eleanor, if you would like to sit with your friends, you may, but again, gossip.
Well, actually, Renshore, I'm sure you're going to sit with your father. down in the seating. But I'm gonna stay over here by this exit, by the door over here, just so I can get a better view of everyone in here and the doors as people are coming and going. If you wanted to sit with me here or be in attendance with your father, but I'm gonna stay up here.
Sitting here, would that be like sitting with the general population? Like, would I be demoting myself?
So it sounds. Oriana, will you be watching the show, or are you staying like at the entrance of the Viscount seating?
I don't want to be in the middle of the crowd. I want to be where I can still see Renshaw and still like kind of see the show. I want to be on the outskirts of people and not surrounded by people.
Yeah, if you want, then what you will do is there's a long booth that comes out from the wall that all the Viscount families are sitting. There's a couple of these booths, but you're in the one obviously with the Tiervald family. So they're all in their seats, and you'll be like standing at the door. So you're at, like, if you picture the crowd, you're in the back at the very edge, and so you can still see the show. You can see the back of Renshaw's head, but you're away from all the people.
I don't know if that answers your question, Jake, but that's where I'll be.
Okay,
But Renshaw, you would not be demoting yourself to sit. Like you would be in your proper seat next to your father.
Yeah. Okay, so I will maintain my seat here with my father.
Yeah.
Yes, Eleanor.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if my parents don't sit together, I think I'll try to sit with a Fairchild.
Yeah, you see they do sit together, but the Quillen family is sandwiched between the Fairchilds and the Redvors on either side. And with that, you see the lights dim, and as the Tale of Two Nights begins, we're going to take our break and come back shortly. The Tale of Two Nights.
I had like literal nightmares about it. In my dreams, I started hearing bells ringing that were like actual in real life bells, but I thought like the bells of abundance were coming for me.
That's so spooky.
That's my goal, is to give the real people in my campaign nightmares.
Maybe it is me.
Maybe I am the problem.
Time to do the scary shit, and my girl's got high heels and a brand new sword.
What a real Bridgerton moment.
He doesn't have to think.
He's
He's rich.
I had imagined the events of the Fall Equinox Ball going quite differently. The biggest trouble I was expecting was running out of hors d'oeuvres, or Oriana and Renshaw seeing one another again for the first time. Of course, a dead body and cult do change things up. Honestly, I'm afraid that the depraved have returned. I saw something at the Ceremony of Bells, something quite large, and then at the attack on the Temple of Ryan, well, I'm sure you've heard of that. I don't think I can keep that one out of the papers. If you see something in the dark, call for help. I'm sure the Ashen Order will protect us and this is all gonna go away, right? In the meantime, I'm sure my friends could use some support. If you could like and subscribe, I'm sure that would help protect them from the powers that be.
As all the lights come down in Brightfire Hearth, the center stage is lit by a large central bonfire, as smaller fires are lit on the outside of the stage by actors you can see dressed in all black, lighting all the fires. A voice echoes through the hearth. Once upon a time, long before High Lord Caspian Blacksbane was betrayed by witch and mage, Thalia was but a small town, huddled around the majesty of Iron Falls. As the voice says this, water pours from the ceiling into a basin on the ground, and you can hear it pour, and you can see this water just flowing as actors begin to move around and take stage. Castle Greywall stood anew. Her newborn walls and virgin towers looked upon Calador for the first time. High Liege Cathal Blacksbane, the second of their line to grace the throne, called upon their subjects. And you see a actor dressed in full regal gowns and clothes of a High Lord, sans the crown, says, "If we are to grow Thalia to its fullest majesty, we require valiant heroes to guide us into a new age of prosperity." The voice again echoes. Heeding their High Liege's call, 5 knights, most brave and true, made haste to the Castle of the North to prove their mettle to the White Stag. At this point, you see actors take the stage. I need all 3 of you to roll gossip checks. And you can do it with advantage as a couple people take the stage. That is a smile of somebody who rolled either really high or really low twice.
We all get to roll advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
I got another Eleanor 2,
Oof.
but then another number that was a bit higher. So
Excellent. How did Eleanor do?
17.
17, very good. Renshaw, how'd you do?
I rolled a 5 and a 6
Okay.
for a total of 8.
Excellent. Oriana?
I originally rolled a 2, but then my next roll
Only 2?
ends up to be 12.
Excellent. Renshaw, you do not recognize any of these actors in their full makeup and they're all in their costumes. And I'll point out who people recognize with that. The voice again echoes through the halls. The first night was Lady Argona with her tabard of crimson red. The great protector of the townsfolk, to every raider she cast dread. And a knight in full plate comes and takes the stage. And Eleanor, you pick up, this is Hella Ruthford, who is one of the Viscounts Ruthford's youngest daughters. And you can hear a cheer come up from the Viscount booth as she takes the stage. The second knight was Knight Gawain, his plume of cobalt blue. He was renowned across the lands for the tremendous monsters he slew. And a burly dwarf in, again, full plate takes the stage, takes a lap around, waving to the crowd, boasting his shield and his sword. The third knight was Knight Kari, her eyes a brilliant green. Her name was known and stories told by every count of the pristine. And Eleanor, you recognize Ophelia Starlight, which is not her real name, but you know that she has been seen recently leaving the Fairchild estate, and she is the one that your father spoke about. And she takes the stage, helmet in hand, her eyes like enchanted for the play to be brilliant green, almost glowing as she walks around. The fourth night.
My body language like really still,
Mm-hmm.
but I do want to just kind of like, as I'm sitting with the Fairchild, like kind of insight check
Yeah, absolutely.
their reactions without, like, I don't want to turn my head, but because my perception's so high, I
Yeah.
imagine that I can see
Oh,
like really well in my
100%.
peripheries.
Yeah, 100%. Give me a an insight check with advantage because you know exactly what you're looking for.
Ooh, that's good. 26.
A 26. You see the Fairchilds are like excited. They seem happy. There is a glimmer in the eye of Wilma Fairchild, Count Fairchild's wife, which you know none of the gossip has been about. But you see, like,
Mhm.
it's something. There's a twitch. There's something there, a recognition beyond normal from Wilma. And you pick up on that with a very high roll. The voice again echoes. The fourth knight, Knight Taurus, his wings a radiant white. Of all the warriors of Calidor, not one could match his might. And in a breastplate and arm guards, but showing full muscular arms, and Asimir steps up onto the stage, his wings glowing radiant white, every feather enchanted to glow with a pure white, his eyes glowing, extending light across the crowd as he steps up and takes a lap around stage. Uh, Oriana, you recognize this person immediately, as well does Eleanor, but you recognize this person. This is Zion Duel, one half of the Dueling Twins, which are two well-known actors, Zion and Razel, the Dueling Twins. However, you know Zion more personally, knowing that Duel is not his last name. His actual last name is Dawnback, and him and Razel are not twins. They are brothers, but Razel is his older brother. And you know all of this because you went to school with him. He was equally as competitive as Oriana growing up, but far less bound to playing by the rules than Oriana. Um, and in the years since your graduation from uh, the the academy, he has taken up acting with his brother, and they are known as the Dueling Twins now. And he is known amongst the ladies as being like strong and muscular and showing off their physique. The voice again echoes. The fifth night, however, shall not be spoken hence. Their actions so vile, their deeds so impure, they are forgotten for their offense. And as these words are spoken, the fires are all brought low, and a single shadow is cast that like extends over a portion of the crowd of what looks to be a knight in armor, helmet, sword, shield. The shadow extends long and gruesome over the crowd, and then it shrunk back. As the set begins to change around this fire to show a throne room of Castle Greywall. Eleanor, on your high insight and high perception, you notice also to your opposite side are the Redvors, who are here. Immediately next to you is Fortest Redvor, the younger, and who is also went to Scroll Spire with you, came back with you, very familiar with him. He is jet black hair. He's sitting, not paying any attention um, to the play, and instead, by the faintest lights that are still lingering, is reading a book called The Sinners of Drog, and he is like struggling to read this book in the dark. And yeah, You notice him doing that. You see he kind of turns to you and says, "You entertained, Eleanor, by this? I can't help but be bored once again by the drawl of Thalia." Flips through it.
It is quite a familiar tale.
I was read in an article today that you were about an attack in Asphodel Square. A very thrilling way to spend your afternoon. Again, he's whispering this to not disturb people, but
Yeah.
he's saying this to you.
It certainly got my heart pumping. I admit I didn't do much, but it was quite intense.
Yes, intense is how the paper made it out to be. I was told that there was runic magic involved. Intriguing. City hasn't seen things like that in quite some time.
I suppose so.
Yeah. So you can give me an insight check, real quick.
Yeah. Ooh. That is a quick math. God, 13.
A what?
13.
A 13. You're pretty familiar with Fortest, going to school with him. You can tell on a 13 that he has something he wants to ask you, but is trying so hard to look cool and like he doesn't care, and that he doesn't care about the story. He doesn't care that there was an attack, but you can tell he wants to ask you something so bad.
Yeah, and then and I'm like kind of like
You feel
And
all
then-
the power shift. Yeah.
I also Oriana now is working with the Ashen Order. And so I actually went with her to Black Tomb to talk to the mage.
You talked to the assailant. What did she say? I mean, I'm sure she didn't tell you much. She's probably pretty tight-lipped.
She was actually under some divine magic where she had to tell the truth.
What did she say?
Oh, just well, I'm sure it's classified.
Come, Eleanor, nothing's classified to account.
Well, she divulged a bit about. Actually, she spent a lot of time talking poorly about us, or counts. And she didn't seem to be too much of a fan of our social structure.
That's interesting. Usually actually, now that I think of it, it's less interesting. The common rabble of the city are often enchanted by superstition and anything that will get them away from the bore of normal life. But did she say anything? Did she say anything about the runic magic? Was she working alone? Did she have a spear? I mean, it doesn't really matter.
She had a spear.
She did?
Had.
Where?
I actually, I touched it before it went off to the Ashen Order for evidence.
He snaps the book shut and turns to you and goes, "You're lying."
I am not. And then I'll describe a bit of it. Oh, and she did this wild thing with her magic. She seemed to cast a spell that made the whole room dark.
You see, he's gonna insight check you. He's intrigued. He got a 17.
Yeah, that's better than my 13.
Okay, so I mean, he looks into it. Are you Are you telling any deceit? I don't think there's any deceit in what you've told him so
Nope.
far. Which is even, you see that drives him even more crazy that you're telling the truth in all of it. Yeah. He's like, what were they doing in the Temple of Ryan? Were they looking for knowledge? Were they hunting for blood?
Blood? I hope not. I couldn't say. It was a flash. They were in, and it was the mage, and then she had two just swordsmen, and they attacked at me, and I had to duck under the swords. And then I watched the one die because of the mage's magic.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage, real quick, to enthrall Fortest, real quick. As you're doing this, the echoing voice continues again as the set is the hearth is set. They go. Oh, I lost my place. Knight Argona was the first to make their pledge to the throne, to which Knight Argona kneels in front of the High Liege Blacksbane sitting in their chair and goes, "My liege, no villain from the Gallatin to the Dromos shall escape my ire. I shall not return until every ruffian that plagues us lies beneath the earth." Knight Gawain kneels next. "My liege, my trophies, are beyond count, but they will be humbled when they compare to your hall. I shall not return until I have slayed the greatest beast in the north and brought you its head on a stake." Knight Kari then made her vow. "My liege, my fame crosses river and hill, mountain and forest. I shall not return until every mortal in Calador knows of the glory and honor of House Blacksbane." Knight Taurus then took his oath. "My liege, neither tournament nor war has brought me an opponent who could best my strength. I shall not return until I have proven House Blacksbane is the strongest amongst the Calorians." And you see, definitely not in the script, but Zion makes a huge flex in front of the king, and there's like a little murmur that goes out through the crowd as he does. At this point, Eleanor, what was your role on persuasion?
23.
Oh boy. Yeah, your attention is pulled away by Fortest as he is enthralled, and he goes, "Did you say who? If she was working for anybody else? The mages of Bound Branches, the Coven of Shadows, the Followers of Fifth, anything?"
Nothing quite like that. Where did you hear those names? What do you know of mages?
The city is boring, and in order to stay busy, the occult is intriguing.
I could say the same, and then I'll kind of peek from my bag, like a little drawing of like the depraved. Just between you and me, I have had the greatest interest in seeing a depraved in real life and drawing it for my portfolio.
You're doing this all without me, Eleanor. Goodness. And he sets the book aside, and he goes, "What were the depraved like? Were they as horrific as the stories tell?"
Entirely.
Goodness me. By the no fam. And he sits back and kind of runs his hand through his hair. He goes, will you be going out and seeing any more? Is there a chance to...
Perhaps at some point. I know
The depraved will still be in the forest. What did you said you spoke to this cultist in Blacktomb. What did she say? Who is she? I guess you didn't call her a cultist, but what did she speak of? Was there a cult? Is there more? Tell me, Eleanor.
she certainly did not seem like she works alone, but between you and me, I think she's actually a bottom tier mage. I think that there's more.
Well, I must say it is fairly standard for cults to send their underlings out to do the dirty work while the heads stay wreathed in shadow. But usually the underlings talk. That's... She didn't mention mages, bound branches, coven of shadow. You said it was mages, correct? You said a siphon, so probably not the coven of shadow, but maybe Followers of Fifth is a myth. I don't have anything. And you see he just kind of starts to mumble to himself about these cults. If you'd like to press him on any information, you feel that you could get him to talk about anything.
Yeah, I think I'll just be like, it is so interesting that there seems to be much more dealings going on than the Ashen Order let on.
Yes, I am sure that the Ashen Order keeps quiet the cases they can't solve, which is probably many and most, and then most of a cult of any worth is going to slip clean under their noses. Amateurs at best.
How many cults do you think roam the city?
Well, cults of real worth. I've read of the 3 major cults that probably have existed in the city. Whether they are real or fact or fiction is up to the interpreter. But within Calidor, within the city, you say, there's probably a handful of fanatics.
Of course.
If I had to guess, I would say Mage of Bound branches haven't been active since 50, 60 years more. But
Well,
if you said it was a fanatic, it was probably followers of the Fifth. They're usually...
the Fifth.
Yes.
What is that?
Come, Eleanor. You saying you've never heard of the followers of the Fifth?
I haven't. You intrigue me so.
A classic tale to scare children. Truly is all it really is. But it is particularly popular amongst people of House Blacksbane. Behave or the followers will come get you, they say. But that's neither here nor there. The real dirt of it is there have never been real official accounts, and you see that he is all in. Like, you've got him talking about what he wants. You see that there's never been any real official accounts of the followers, people being part of the followers of the Fifth, aside from rebellious teens and abandoned farmhouses. But the first mention of the Fifth actually comes from House Blacksbane. You may have been to the record hall of Castle Greywall a few times, and apparently the Moors, being devoted or not devoted to the belief, often in early settlement times questioned the Novem and the Descended. The Ascended. Descended are very different. The question, the Novem and the Ascended. In some early philosophical debates, They questioned the existence of a fifth ascended in Calidor. We know we have Ryan, we have Volsair, we have Amira, and we have Everett. But they said, why not? Why could there not be a fifth? And
I
some
suppose.
yes,
I was just thinking.
yeah.
Uh,
The most believe it was just philosophical to pose the question, how would we know if there was a fifth? But the storytellers wasted no time, of course, to take to the hearth and sow fables. The theater community will certainly take the tallest tale and shout it to the audiences like it is fact. And he kind of motions to the hearth.
I'm taking this opportunity as he's talking to scoot closer.
Yeah, absolutely. He says, but the person in Black Tomb, she didn't mention a fifth in any way. Usually they're pretty devoted to this idea of a fifth fanatics that claim that they're
No,
the fifth ascended.
if that was the cult that she was a part of, that was not made clear. Have you seen a thrall before?
A thrall of the witches? No, I have never seen a witch thrall. There have been stories of the
Shapeshifters.
yes, shapeshifters. This now that sounds more like the Coven of Shadows. That's a completely different entity. Some of the witches and early the witches. Actually, before we get into that, let's clear something up. Do you know the difference between a Moor and a witch?
Maybe.
Okay. All mortals that are born in the Verimoor are tainted by its magic. They have a little piece of the depraved within them. Or at least that's what people say. Those are the Moors. Then, yes. Okay, yes. Then the witches are the Moors who enslaved the magic of the forest, twisting it and binding it to their grimoires. The most devious of these witches, of the witch covens, was the Coven of Shadow, which, unlike the other covens, which were content with sending the depraved to destroy our towns and eat our people, they decided to breach Dahlia with deception, spies, assassins, terrorists.
Within the city.
Yes, they were the bane of High Priest Wilmot's crusade. Really, the reason the Quellers were invented way a few hundred years ago. Even after all the matrons were killed, the Quellers were never really sure they got all the stragglers. And so, tales of witches in the city is probably still keeps the Ashen Order up at night.
Wow, you know so much.
You're gassing him up, and he loves it. He's trying to play it cool on his face, but you can tell you are like he's an open book right now. To which he goes, "What do you think, Eleanor? You were the one that was there. Was this a fanatic with with intense beliefs, or a witch with a cause, or a thrall enchanted by the witches to do their bidding?"
Well, I believe that Hera Harvester was certainly a mage. And I think, honestly, she just was angry at society itself. I wish that there was something more interesting, but she just was mad at her life, at her situation. Her husband had died, and she stumbled into magic. Now, what it seems like the forces at large, I could not even begin to guess.
You can see like there is a glimmer in his eyes as he is dying to know more. And you hear the hearth event continues. It presses on over the course of the evening. You watch each of the knights go on their epic quest, each to never return back to Thalia. The first knight, consumed with her vengeance, discovers that the leader of the raiders that she was hunting is a revenant, a mortal cursed to return from the dead forever. Unable to call her task complete, she slays the revenant every day and every night for eternity. The second knight travels far north, boasting as he slays larger and larger beasts. But each beast as it falls tells him of something more dangerous farther north. Eventually, he encounters the greatest beast of all, winter itself. The battle ends with him being frozen in an endless cold, never to return. The third knight travels across Thalia, falling prey to the vices of wealth and fame. When appearing before the king of Valdor, the Novem send a omen of disapproval. 100 doves falling dead at the congregation's feet. The ashamed knight sends herself into exile as she is disapproved by the king and by the Novem themselves. The fourth knight also travels across Calador, challenging great warriors to contests of strength, all the while secretly consuming potions to boost his might. Eventually, his boasts reach the Gallatin Mountains, and the Iron Peaks challenge his strength against theirs. Knowing that he's unable to beat the mountains, his final act is to drink a potion that turns him into stone. And the play ends with, to this day, neither him nor the mountains have budged. And the High Liege of Thalia asks out once again to calls upon the kingdom in order to find new heroes to bring glory to House Blacksbane. As the hearth ends and the lights begin to raise, Fortest, after again rambles the whole time with you, composes himself as the lights come back up and says, "Well, Eleanor, if you have any information that I could study or read or attend, I would be thrilled to expand my knowledge of the occult and to expand yours. I'm sure that you could learn much from the Redvor Library."
Yeah, it would.
Yes. And you see his parents begin to rise and turn away, and he goes, "If you find anything else out, please tell me. Have a good night, Lady Quillen." And he turns and joins his parents.
Good night.
And everybody begins to congregate in the lobby.
I turn immediately to Bree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once they leave, and I go, "Did you see that? He just talked to me the entire time."
I think he's totally into you. I saw you scooch closer, and I was like, "Oh my god, she scooched," and he scooched. He leaned right
Closed
in.
his book to talk to
I've
me.
never seen Fortest close his book.
I think that's the longest we've ever talked in an entire life, and we traveled for months together on a caravan.
I think it's the longest he's ever talked in his entire life. I couldn't hear what you were saying, but it must have been intriguing to have him enchanted.
I think he might have invited me to his keep.
Eleanor, you are in. It's basically an engagement as far as I'm concerned. Yes. I see that my parents are calling. I will
Yes.
be yes. And you see
See you
she
later.
turns and moves to her parents who are like talking and start to like motion them out to the lobby as they are the hosts and now they have to greet
Yeah.
people and do their countly job. Everybody kind of moves out, and as people are both socializing and moving and leaving, Eleanor, with your passive perception, you clock immediately Warwick is gone. That man, oh no, sorry, Watland is gone. That man,
Yeah.
that man may have left before the end of the play. And you see everyone moving out. It's very easy to kind of get lost in this crowd as people are moving. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to find my bodyguard again.
Yeah, as soon as you guys get up, in order to get out of your booth, you have to go. Excuse me, you have to go through Oriana.
Yeah, I'm right here. Didn't go that far.
That's all I needed.
He's a simple man.
Yeah. And I think I just follow both of the Tyrvalls as they make their way out. And then I'm not sure if Renshaw is gonna part from his father here, if we're gonna wait outside for Eleanor. I don't
No,
really
my
know.
father gave me homework, so I'm just gonna hang out with him until I get to like turn that in. Like we spent time putting
Yeah.
this together.
For sure. I would say as you kind of walk around, you see that he's bringing you around, kind of chatting with these people. When the subject of the pristine meeting is brought up, how does Renshaw engage with it?
He does not speak unless spoken to.
Okay, excellent. There's a couple times where they're someone's talking to your father and they goes, "Oh, Renshaw, do you agree that with the nay vote of the House Tyrvald?"
Say again?
So House Tyrvald voted nay on the.
Oh, yes.
Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree. I think that would be best.
Yeah, and they say, "Oh, very interesting," and people trying to get a gauge on how the new Tyrvald is, if he's going to be different from his father, if he's going to follow in the family's footsteps. You do at one point, you see Katrin Warwick, Count Warwick's wife, comes over and immediately, like you see, as soon as she clocks you, beelines it over and goes, doesn't even talk to your father and goes, "Heir Renshaw, gossip has reached my ears that my husband convinced you to duel at the crossbows last night. Shame on that man." And she like pats you on the shoulder. And she goes, "He knows better than to goad up some up-and-coming viscounts into engaging in his vices. He will not stop raving about Renshaw's 1-2 attack."
I mean, it was harmless, really. It was all for fun.
Do not give him any credit. He knows far better. And then she turns to your father, who has said nothing, and goes, "Oh, don't be so sour, Viscount Tyrvald. If those boys yap as much as I know they do, I'm sure a cousin or two will have perked ears by the end of the week." And she kind of gives you a nudge and a wink. Okay. I have, again, do not let, if next time you're at the crossbows, do not let my husband talk you into any more of his tomfoolery. And she gives you like a little squeeze on the shoulder and then walks away.
Fantastic.
Dueling at the crossed bows, says your father.
Yes. Count Warwick needed someone to fit in. I happened to be there, delivering your missive. A little bit of sport never hurt. And I think it got me in with some of the counts.
The family does need some good impressions from the new Viscount. Give me an insight check, real quick.
Did you even roll it?
15.
15. You're not sure. You think your father is thrilled. You think that he is like.
He is.
You think he is stoked that you got in with these counts. Like it's.
I thought that would be the reaction.
He is. He is. You can. His face does not flinch. There's no tell. But you get the vibe. Like he is. He could not be happier with what you've done.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was.
Screw studying. I'm just gonna go fight people. Starting with Denise.
Starting with Denise. There is a little more chatter before people truly begin to filter out and head out as it is getting later in the evening. A little you can hear the bells toll 10 across the city.
I think I'll just join you guys and be like, are you ready? Julius is around the bend.
Yeah, I had honestly forgotten that story just put me to sleep.
It is one we have certainly heard before.
Yeah, just okay.
Some might say repetitive, others might say traditional.
Are you sure you're still up for tonight?
If it is what you wish, I am happy to go.
Renshaw, we can take you back to your manor.
No, I promised you tonight. It shall be tonight. I'm sure once we delve into the dark, mysterious caves, I'll be awake. I can already feel awareness flooding back to me.
You enter the Quillen carriage, not the same one as Kier and Florian, but the one.
Ours is armed.
Yours is armed, and begin the dark ride north towards the catacombs.
I believe we're heading towards Winding Mire Street.
Yeah, wherever that is.
I think it's up north. It's kind of hard to see on my map. Up by like Atwood Gate.
Yes, you move up.
Good eye.
Yeah. Julius
Maybe.
certainly knows the way
Yes.
when I tell him the street name.
Lady Quillen, are you sure you would like to go to the Winding Mire? It is no
We
place
have-
for nobles.
Some business to attend to. If you could stay present
Yes,
throughout.
of course. I'll be here as long as you need. And you see he takes you guys into up to the northernmost part of the city towards the Winding Mire. It is evident as you move away from. Sorry, I just killed a mosquito. It is evident as you move away from the downtown area and make the corner to the Winding Mire. The Winding Mire is a street with a few branches that is up against the tall northern wall of the city, generally regarded as the most unsafe wall of the city as it guards from the Vermore. Due to the poor drainage of this part of the wall, about half an inch of standing water rests across the street and all around the houses. The carriage.
When did it rain last?
What was that?
When did it rain last?
3 days
When we were
ago?
at the distillery.
3 days ago?
I think maybe more.
And it wasn't even that heavy of a rain.
No.
Yeah, but we're also right up against the river here. Like the river, like sandwiches Winding Mire, so there's already a lot of water. The falls are right down the street. Like it's just moist.
Ugh.
As the horses move and the carriages move through, the water splashes. You watch as rats move off the street, parted by the weight of the carriage. The more you look, even in the dark, there's a good handful of lanterns that just have not been lit in the street, but you can still see that rats infest the gutters, gnawing into the walls of every building on these streets.
Well, I know why no one found this entrance before.
You see that there are a handful of peasants that are making their way through the water very late at night. Some are in their doorways, but you can feel eyes watching as you feel so incredibly out of place. This carriage probably costs more than the street itself. And you see some windows and some doors crack open, and eyes gaze out and peer into the night as you move through the winding mire. Eventually, yes.
I was just gonna say we're looking for signs towards the resting chosen.
You get to the dead end of the winding mire, the farthest point in the back, where Julius stops the carriage. You can see he is clutching his crossbow, like not the trigger, but like the whole thing, just white knuckling this crossbow. As you get to the dead end, up against a huge stone wall is the entrance to the Blacksbane Catacombs. But all the letters of Blacksbane, except the B and the last N, have been worn away. And you can see this big stone door at the entrance of the catacombs. Gargoyles enwreath this structure, and you see, as you stop and as you guys peek out of the carriage, a handful of windows once again kind of creep open, and by the faintest candlelight you see the shadows of faces turn and watch what this carriage is doing.
Maybe we should have Julius park over. There's a school not too far from here, just right on the other side. Maybe so he's not surrounded by all of the villagers here.
Yeah.
Maybe put him at ease, and it's not too far, and if we need to get to him, we could rush over.
Julius, we'll just, after an hour or two, swing by once an hour, irregular times.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'm gonna go out and then I'm gonna come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good. To be honest, it's better than outside the walls. So,
It's true. We are still firmly south.
Firmly south. Yes. Excellent. And you see, he's gonna wait until you guys go in, until he unless you want him to take off now.
No, he can.
Okay.
I mean, he knows we're doing suspicious shit.
Yeah.
There's no point hiding
That's
stuff
true. He's
from
like,
him.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, he whips the horses around, and as you guys step out, the carriage splashes again through the water as it makes its way into the dark street. And Eleanor, again, with your perception, you notice the heads do not turn to watch the very expensive carriage, but instead watch the three of you.
I'd like to try and take a lantern or a torch off one of the walls on this street. Regardless if it's lit or not, I can probably light it. I just would like to snag one off the wall.
Yeah, you can absolutely steal one of these people's streetlights for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You can see this. The light is like damp and wet, and it is not lit, but you do have a lantern.
Cool.
I try to like kind of blend in on like up against Oriana to
Yeah.
try to let her Ashen Order cloak be the first thing people see rather than my bright pink hair.
Oh, for sure. You kind of tuck behind her, and you see nobody comes out of their house. It's late at night, but there are like 5 or 6 people between 1 or 2 stories that are just peeking out and watching.
Yeah. Is the entrance like open, or is there like a stone in front of it? I think I missed out if it was
So
accessible.
Yeah, you turn to the door, and you see that there is no normal handle on the door into the catacombs. However, there's a large stone, and on like a few inches above the floor, there's a metal bar, and it looks like you would pull the door up. You could see from the slots, the door lifts up and does not open instead.
It's drainage for all the water. Well, I'll give it a go.
Oh, okay. Are you I can do it.
Yeah. Give me, whoever wants to do
Both do it.
give me a strength check.
I'm not gonna try.
16.
It's just strength.
Oof. Yep, just strength. You have to reach your hands into the water. Like, I guess it's only half an inch, but you have to get your fingers wet as you wrap your hands around this bar. It is not nearly as heavy as the door would look, and as you begin to pull up, you can feel it's counterweighted. As you begin to pull, it makes it a little easier. You pull up, some of the water rushes in a little bit, but there's a good like little lip on the ground that doesn't just flood the catacombs. And you lift up, as you do, a chandelier in the next room alights in a very faint glow of fire, illuminating the first room, spilling light into the water. And as it does, the 3 of you notice a bunch of rats scurry away from where you are as they were creeping closer and closer as you stood there. The rats scurry away from the light, and Eleanor, even in the darkness, you notice the Thalians that are peeking and watching you all take their hand and like make a symbol with it before closing their windows.
I just keep my
What's the hand symbol?
They make like a...
Okay.
Like you're rocking out.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a sign language for I love you.
I
was
love
gonna say
you.
love.
There you go.
Pretty sure it's love.
Love.
I don't know.
Well, at least there's light.
Always looking on the
And
bright side.
I want to take like a match out of like my side pouch, and I want to light the lantern that I have so that we have a walking light with us.
Yeah, it takes like 2 or 3 attempts to light, but eventually you are able to get this lantern lit, and it glows like a bluish green color. It's like the spreads this light out. Do you guys enter the catacombs?
Yeah, I think I look at the other 2 and then I step in.
I follow her.
Let's go.
As you enter, Renshore, as you let go of the door, it slowly...
Is there a handle on this side too?
There is a handle on this side.
Okay, cool. And I don't care.
Comes down and closes behind you. You can see in this first room there's like a central, like almost altar looking slab in the middle with shelves that run down either side. Again, only illuminated by the faint glow of this chandelier on the ceiling. You can see there are embalming tools all throughout the shelves on the side of this room. And as you look up to the ceiling, the entire ceiling is a mural of some of the Novem, particularly the Weaver and the Dusk Wanderer. The Weaver is presenting the Dusk Wanderer with gifts of fire, bread, and scrolls, all symbolic depictions of the other Novem wreath the ceiling. Not like their visage, but symbols that you would recognize relate to the other 7 Novem. And then on the far wall of this room, there is a doorway, same mechanism as the first, a handlebar at the floor, but it is flanked by 2 marble statues. One is of Ryan, and the other is of Everin, both with their faces veiled by, again, a veil of stone, but just obscuring their faces. And both hold a quill and parchment, seemingly taking down the final notes of those who would delve deeper for their eternal entombment.
Great artwork.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising the poor people didn't sell this shit.
That's a lot of stone to try to move.
That's
And
true.
secretly sell as not public property.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah, all this is probably owned by Caspian.
Technically.
Yeah, but
And I want to make my way, I guess, to the far door and go to open, see if that one moves.
Yeah, give me another strength check.
22.
22. You are, again, with the counterweights and a very good strength roll, you lift this door up. As you do, there is a release of pressure of air that blows through, as if the catacombs themselves are taking their first breath in a long, long time. The air that rolls out is stale and old and full of decay. And as you raise this door, you are met with a pitch black hall of wood and stone that descends deeper into the catacombs.
I
The
grab
lanterns for.
grab onto Renshor's arm as this happens. Oh, this looks wonderful.
Yeah,
aren't you glad we didn't
Cast
let
the lantern
Oriana
ahead of us.
come alone?
Of course.
I want to start walking down the hallway.
Yeah. The halls ahead twist into a black maze of stone and bones. The walls are lined with little pockets, each occupied by a Thalian that has long forgotten the smell of fresh air. Some of these pockets boast the remains of more important members of the community, denoted by their linen bodies being nailed vertically into the stone walls, standing forever in their position, forever standing in their fine clothes, their armor, or their holy robes. The many intersections are marked with cobblestones that once denoted what lies ahead. However, many have been worn away by countless centuries. What we're going to do now is everybody is going to make a navigation check and a stealth check.
Stealth.
Everyone's gonna make a navigation and a stealth check. As long as one of you passes the DC, then the whole group will move forward to the next one. I will ask what is your destination as you head in, or are you just blindly going in?
We are following the paths towards the high tomb, moving so that the rumble of the falls becomes fainter.
I think we're specifically looking signs first for the resting chosen. I think is our first room to find.
The resting.
I
And
think
if we
that was a
hear
store
the
on the
fall-
streets.
I thought that was to get us in. I see.
Nope. The resting chosen is
Like a room down here.
part of the tomb.
Yeah.
Yep. So you begin to follow the signs for the resting chosen. Because that is the correct first spot, you may roll your navigation with advantage. Everybody can roll a navigation with advantage. Sorry.
My nav is this. And my stealth.
I've never done that before.
What did you roll?
2 nat 20s.
No way.
Oh.
Wow.
What
Both
a
for nav
waste.
or one for stealth?
No, he said roll nav with advantage, so
Yeah. I'm going to say...
what a waste.
Renshaw, I'm going to say that
Fun.
with a nat 20, that will work. That will get you for this navigation and the next one. Nobody will have to roll navigation for the next check as well. So with 2 nat 20s, that's ridiculous.
Never.
Holy
done that.
cow. You are
And then I rolled a 2 for my stealth.
okay. So you're
We love twos.
I also rolled a 2 for my stealth.
Granted, I do get a +1, so I do
There
have
you go. 2 20s.
Mine's up to a 9.
A 9 for stealth for Eleanor. It was
My stealth is 18.
18. Okay.
We
Your
can do this.
Your compatriots are not stealthy, but Renshaw is very good, especially at some of the stones that have worn away, at figuring out which is leading to the resting chosen.
Mm-hmm.
My heels are clacking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
is the echoes through the.
Sorry, guys. I
Catacombs.
need these to be close to your height. I come up to your armpit with these.
You wind through the catacombs, trekking past thousands of bodies. The air festers with stagnant linens, still bones, and there's something else in the air. A faint but foul smell clouds these halls as you follow signs for the resting chosen for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes going down these halls. And then you see the source of this smell that is just the tinge on your tongue, the slightest smell. The beady eyes, the matted fur, and the gnawing teeth of rats. But unlike the rats in the winding mire, the one in front of you does not skitter away from the light, because this rat is the size of a boar. And as it turns its head, its hands holding the remains of a humanoid head that it is gnawed into the cavity of. It turns to you and squeals, and then skitters towards you. I need everyone to roll initiative. And we're going to end in this episode right now.
No, let me keep my initiative.
You keep your initiative. Yeah, you can keep
Okay,
it. Okay. Let me hear the initiative. Give it to me.
19.
19 for Ren. Wow, those are very good rolls from Renshaw. Oriana?
14.
Oriana for 14. And Eleanor?
Nat 1.
Nat
Oh.
1. Oh no. As
Eleanor can roll
I
a new
am
initiative.
disgusted. I am in fear. I go behind Renshaw.
as this massive rat begins to scuttle across the floor towards you, we are going to end tonight's session.
I'm ready to fight.
Right? We're ready to go. If you're watching,
Rat.
yes, a rat, a huge rat,
Like a capybara.
but big,
Capybara
big
size
capybara.
rat.
But think capybara, but ugly and with like razor sharp teeth. Yeah, if you, I mean, you can't leave our highborns alone by themselves in the catacombs. Make sure you like and subscribe. That way we can see how they fare next episode and see if they make it through the winding catacombs to the Spindle Maiden herself. But until we meet again over another round at the Four Rings Inn.